boyfriend are accused of killing Cristina, the 13-year-old special needs child they left in the car. So the question in my mind really is, to what degree are these folks going to be found culpable? I have a question now. I have Dante Pointer here, and I have Catherine Lizardo. Let me start with you, Dante. You know, we got two attorneys because you got two defendants. How important, and tell me about that dynamic, you know, when we are sitting at the same table. These aren't severed trials. You got to deal with one another.
Yeah, there could certainly be tension in a situation like this where you're looking for a scapegoat, or at least looking to lay more blame on your co-defendant. So there could be a lot of tension there. However, if there are times where the defense is working together, or there's a synergy between the two attorneys, then sometimes you're able to actually play to each other's strengths. Somebody may be better with direct, somebody may be better with cross-examination, somebody may be smoother with some of the more technical or expertise as it relates to dealing with medical experts and things like that. So, you know, but I think in a trial like this, there's a lot of tension because you're wondering, what is my co-counsel, or what is the co-defendant's counsel going to say at closing? Are they going to point the finger at my client and say that they were responsible? And what's going to be my retort? So I think there's probably a lot of tension and anticipation in that courtroom.
Yeah, I mean, you can only cooperate to a certain degree because you do have an obligation to zealously represent your client, and that may mean some dirt slops over on the other guy. Catherine, I can't imagine you've been co-counsel with anybody because you're such a nasty person, just so difficult to get along with. But have you experienced those scenarios where you've had to play nice and hope that in the interest of your client it plays out best?
Yes, I have had those where you're a co-counsel for a defendant and someone else is representing the defendant. And what you do there is you collaborate on the facts that are in favor for you. And like you said, since our duty as lawyers is really to zealously represent our client, I would be focused on my client and making sure that that the burden of proof of the prosecution won't be met as to my client. If I focus on that, then whether or not I have a way to point fingers at the other defendant, as long as I did that for mine, that's my focus.
Yeah, and you've got to be able to pivot, as I say, because you don't know what's going to happen during the course of trial that might, you know, throw some shade on your client. Very interesting dynamic. Hey, I'm going to have to thank and excuse Dante Pointer. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time here on the network. And I'll come back in a minute, and I think Catherine's going to join me. So stay right where you are. Closing arguments underway in South Carolina and the death of that 13-year-old little girl. Be right back.